Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Worldwide Willis. As you know, this podcast is brought to you by the LMG Podcast Network. And today we have a very, feel like you're walking in the first take. Feel like you're walking into Undisputed. You know what I mean? This is one of those episodes. We have a start, bench, cut, and I have a great panel with me today. I have Spenser. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then I got my boy Pat. What up, man?
What up, man? Happy to be here, be back. It's been a minute. Glad to be back on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we have our panel here where we will discuss, Spencer's going to throw out some names. We're going to, obviously everyone's played start, bench, cut before. If you haven't, then go listen to our first edition of that type of episode. It was a good time with Averis. And we'll go from there. And then our top five at the end of the episode will be our top five returns, top five favorite returns. And those are always fun. So we can just get right to it. Spenser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today I have three categories. So we're going to start with non-wrestlers. So these are people that are in the wrestling industry, in the wrestling world, but they are not known for their actual wrestling. They are known for something else.
Okay.
That will make sense when we get there. This doesn't mean that they've never had a match or anything. This just means that primarily they are not a wrestler at all.
Gotcha.
So, and for anybody who's not familiar with start, bench, cut, I will name three people, and each of us will have to decide who we would start, who we would bench, and who we would cut. So,
nice.
For the first set of three, we have Michael Cole, Teddy Long, and Coach.
Oh, okay. That's an easy cut for me. I think I'll go for it. I'm cutting Coach. I'm going to start Michael Cole. Just because he's done outstanding work in the last year to 2 years. Since, Vince kind of got off his back. And then I'm going to bench Teddy Long. Teddy Long is a great GM, catchy. The Undertaker. You know
the
what I mean?
Undertaker.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a bench Teddy Long. He was a great underrated GM though.
Okay.
Pat, what do you got?
Mine's gonna actually be the same. I like Coach, but he's very dispensable. I don't think you need him very much for a show. Michael Cole, I'm gonna start him. Like you said, he's been done great work this year, last couple years actually, and he kind of is the catalyst. He's on both Raw and SmackDown now, kind of carrying the commentators. So
yeah,
I'm gonna agree with Brandon on this. Probably the one and only time this episode, but
it's unanimous. I agree as well. I'm going to start Michael Cole. I'm going to bench Teddy Long, and I'm going to cut Coach. Now, for this next one, I would like to first say that these were shuffled.
Gotcha.
So these were not necessarily curated. They went through a shuffle. So some of them will be pretty easy, and some of them will be a little challenging.
Gotcha.
Because this one, I don't know how I feel yet. Jim Ross, Paul Heyman, Jim Johnston.
Ooh.
That's tough. This is tough.
Wow. Okay. Jim Ross, Paul Heyman, Jim Johnston.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, this is almost blasphemy for my generation. But okay, I'm starting Paul Heyman just because the versatility. I can I can put him with a wrestler, that wrestler's automatically a star. I could put him in the booth and then commentary. He'd kill it. Like I loved him when he was during that early 2000s era. I loved when he was a commentator. And then also he can do the booking. So he can he was the lead writer and booker of that early 2000s, golden era with Rey Mysterio, Eddie. He let the main real wrestlers do their thing on SmackDown. That's kind of how SmackDown overtook Raw for a little bit. So I'm gonna do Paul Heyman as a starter. I'm going to bench Jim Johnston. Uh, I just think he just cranked out too many classics. My man was cooking. He was on a hot streak. He was Steph Curry level on a hot streak, and you know what I mean. For whatever reason, he stopped. I don't really know the details, but my man was cooking. When you saw Jim Johnston, you kind of knew that thing was a banger. So I'm gonna, and this may be due to his older age and him like winding down, and me not like visibly remembering every moment during his prime. I gotta cut Jim Ross. Gotta do it. It's tough.
Tough. Okay, so I'm gonna start Jim Ross.
Ooh,
Simply because that's for those of us that grew up with that era, like that's all of our probably favorite memories are Jim Ross calling him.
right.
Um, Mankind coming off the cell. Even people who don't know wrestling know the by God.
Yeah.
He's
Good God Almighty, that killed him.
yeah, like everybody knows that. So I'm gonna start Jim Ross, bench Paul Heyman just for the fact that he like you said, Brendan, he's versatile. You can put him anywhere. Um, and I'm gonna lose some bangers with theme songs, but I'm gonna cut Jim Johnston and just try to hopefully
Wow.
find somebody else that can give me something close.
You're gonna be out here with some like Logan Paul music and freaking some
Yeah,
trash ass
it's the
music.
random non-copyrighted stuff that you find on.
Right. Like the basic default intros you see when you see
Yeah.
on a computer.
Yeah.
Spencer, what you
Uh,
got?
Yikes. I'm gonna have to start Jim Johnston.
Mm,
That's too much. Like
of course. The
the man
music
is
guy,
too
of
much.
course.
Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna bench JR.
Ooh,
Oh
wait.
no. Oh no.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
The wise
Wow.
man. The wise man's getting cut, huh?
But I'm gonna have to cut Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman told me he was the GOAT. Like he let me know
Did
that. He told me that to my face.
oh yeah,
Uh,
he did.
but yeah, I'm sorry. And I just realized we all went in.
Opposite.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
none of us went the same for any of them.
That's wild. Cut the
I
goat.
don't like it. I don't like it.
We
I
went
need
from
to be clear.
unanimous to we all went
In
different.
very different directions.
Right.
Um, okay. For the next category, I have wrestlers that are over 50 currently.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to do like an older era, newer era situation, but I figured just people over 50 and people under 50 just made that easy because it was hard to be like people who are retired because nobody ever really retires.
Yeah.
Like
Right. That's true.
they're always around. So
That's true.
I we're gonna start with a couple of over 50, like 50 or older are these
Okay.
people. So some of them may still be active, some of them may not. So we have Triple H, Chris Jericho, Ric Flair.
Mm. And this is for like all
Garbage.
time, full body of work, but also like, in the prime, who would I want to see kind of thing, right?
Um, take this how you will.
Okay.
And I feel like you're asking that question because of Triple H's role change
That,
and whether or
yeah,
not you want that to. Because in my head, I'm thinking like during their wrestling time, but
yeah, okay.
I mean,
That's
it's
the most simple way, probably. Um, so yeah, and during their wrestling time, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Ric Flair. Wow, the
See, Ric
historian in
Flair's
me.
time was so different though. Like you can't really
I mean,
that's
you
tough to
can though.
compare, but that's tough to compare it to other two, but
I mean, for me, Triple H is in my top five all time. So I got to start Triple H. I have to. Damn, the historian in me is having a struggle, having a time. 'Cause I love the territory. I love like watching. I'll be watching documentaries on like the territory days. But you know what? Mm, okay, this is tough. This
Yeah,
was tough.
that's the point.
I can see the
This is
internal struggle. You got the two
yeah,
people
man.
on your
Like
shoulder talking to you. I can see it.
like my WCW like as a child days is like, bro, what are you doing? Like you know what time it is, but okay. Okay. I'm going to start Triple H, bench Chris Jericho. I gotta cut Ric Flair.
Ooh.
Mm.
I assume that is, if nothing else, based on your time on Earth, because you were not there for Ric Flair.
Yeah, it's tough because I watched a lot of documentaries on like his reign when he was champ and he was like, going from territory to territory, defending the belt against the best of the best, and like the stuff he had to go through, and like mad respect. It's just it's just it is more, I guess his style. I liked it, but I didn't get to see like a versatility of style. It was a lot of like him being the heel, getting beat up by whatever the best baby face in the area is, and then sneaking away with it. Which I mean, that's technically what a heel is supposed to do. He kind of started that
Yep.
whole formula, but damn, that's a tough one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. Now I gotta do this. Okay. I'm gonna start Triple H. Just purely on the fact that I think between the three of them, most people want to go see a Triple H match over it. And like me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I'd want to see that. Um, I think I'm gonna bench Ric Flair because the man was just in his day. I think he's kind of losing it now, but he's in his day. He was, I mean, he was the man. Hence, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And he's just a
Yeah,
walking promo. And like you said, the territory day, just going from territory to territory, like Saturday night to Sunday night, from Friday night to. So that's tough. So I gotta give him respect for that. And then unfortunately, gotta cut Jericho. I love Jericho. I enjoy what he did in his prime and um what he's doing now, but I gotta I gotta cut him.
wow. Y2J, huh? That's tough.
Love the guy, but he can't. It's too tough. If it's two other people, it's different.
Yeah. Like
But
in a different matchup, yeah, he
yeah,
makes it out. So for me, I think I'm gonna have to start Ric Flair
Mm,
because I feel like without Ric Flair, there's a lot that never happens.
that's true.
I
makes
think that
sense.
Ric
Makes
Flair
sense.
did way too much paving the way and like building what, like if it weren't for Ric Flair, there'd be a lot that we love that just wasn't. And
Yeah.
I have to give that to Ric Flair. Um and I bench Triple H and I hate doing it, but I'm gonna have to cut Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
tough.
sense. You kind of don't get Triple H without Ric Flair either,
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
because he
You don't
comes
get
from
Stone
that
Cold.
yeah, he comes from that Ric Flair Harley race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a tough one. That's
I'll
the
tell
tough
you
one
what,
so far.
Ric Flair um constructed two great factions in the Four Horsemen and Evolution.
Yeah, that's true. It's a fact. He
Yeah,
put his
and when
squad on.
yeah, whenever I saw Triple H and Ric Flair ended up in the same, I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
okay, okay. For the next one, we have Road Dog, Christian, Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh,
Bro, what you gotta do this to me?
you pulling in my heartstrings, Spencer. Come on. I'm starting DDP. I mean, that's just like as a kid, I was going to sleep. I was just waiting for DDP. That was my people's champ. Forget the Rock. That was my people's champ. You know what I mean? DDP, bro. When he went on his run, that was my guy. Like anytime he beat Goldberg or he beat one of these dudes who was getting all the push in WCW, I loved it, man. Like he was really good. Like he got a lot better as a wrestler. As a kid, I didn't notice how bad of a wrestler he is, but um, yeah, DDP walked through the crowd going crazy, throwing up the diamond, a bang. That's why I call it the diamond cutter. I don't really call it the RKO. You know what I mean? But I'm starting DDP. Wait, who was my other options?
Christian and Road Dogg.
Okay. Now, Pat might know this, but like, and Spence, you may have seen it, but Christian been killing lately in AEW. Like he's been doing his thing, but I got to give it to Road Dogg. Road Dogg just had so much juice, had so much swag, just so good on the mic. He was a good wrestler too. Like boys and girls, like he was really good. Like that whole thing, like yeah, him and Billy Gunn, one of my favorite tag teams. So I'm gonna have to bench Road Dogg. I'm gonna have to cut Christian. I wasn't really interested in Christian up until around like 2009, and then he had a short run and he was gone. So I mean, he was just the other guy that came out there with Edge to me for a while.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start Road Dogg. Purely entertainment thing. The dude can entertain like nobody. And bench Christian just because he was mainly. So my biggest reason was he helped revolutionize like the tag team division there in the early like late 90s, early 2000s. It was the Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, Hardys, like a lot of the stuff we see we wouldn't without those guys kind of thing. And then even without Edge, he did so well with the Intercontinental title when he went to TNA with Christian's Coalition, winning the NWA Championship, doing all that, just kind of revolution everything. And Road Dogg kind of did the same with DX, and when they rode on the vehicle into WCW into Nitro, one of my favorite moments. So they both to me like revolutionized stuff. And then I love DDP. I love his yoga. That's my guy. The original, he had the original cutter. But I'm about to cut him. I think we could do without him.
Jeez.
Okay.
Disrespectful.
All respect.
I'm going to start Road Dogg because on the mic, the man was too much.
It really was.
I'm going to bench Diamond Dallas Page, and I'm going to cut Christian because I never liked Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially, they put Christian in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Being against the Hardys and the Dudleys, like, sorry.
Bro, he was the last guy to get picked. If you was playing with your friends and you was trying to beat, if you was trying to reenact that match, you was like, damn it, I got Christian. Damn.
Like nobody wanted Christian, and there's a reason for that.
I did like his finisher.
Yeah. The
finisher was interesting. Yeah, Unprettier, yeah.
And I think it was a kill switch. Yeah, he called it a kill switch at one point.
And there was one point where his theme song was fire.
Oh yeah, it was around there like
close your eyes.
Yeah.
The truth revealed.
So like Christian, he had some stuff, but like, sorry.
Yeah.
He was also there at the time that TNA started kind of taking off a little bit. Yeah. And I think he kind of helped that there. Had some good matches with Jeff Jarrett and Sting and Abyss and stuff like that. But obviously smaller company, he succeeded, so that kind of says a lot. But I'm sticking to my decision. I'm sticking.
Wow.
Okay.
Captain Charisma all day. That was my MySpace name for a while.
Of course it was.
All right, so we are going to switch categories. We're going to go under 50.
Okay.
So, Becky Lynch, Kenny Omega, Jey Uso.
Ooh, this is probably the most random of them all.
I'm gonna make a lot of people mad.
That's your favorite thing to do is to make people mad.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
I know that I know how I feel about it.
oh, I already know how Spencer goes. Spencer gonna make people mad.
Oh
Like
yeah.
everybody. Um, for me, gotta start the man, Becky Lynch. She's goat level. She's like goat level. I still think Sasha's better, but like I've gained a ton more respect for Becky in the last couple of years just because she's banged out classic after classic. Like she had a great match with Trish Stratus, which is hard to do in a steel cage. Like that's extremely hard to do. Um, and like she just had great matches with Becky, with Charlotte, with Io. Um, and there's no better woman on the mic. Like she's the GOAT as far as mic work in the women's division in wrestling to me. So gotta start Becky. I'm going to bench. Ah, yeesh. Okay. I will say I was late to the Kenny Omega train, right? So I didn't get to see him necessarily in his prime. I recognize what he does, and I know he's good. And he looks he looks like a created wrestler. Like he looks like somebody you'd create on, No Mercy or whatever. You know what I mean? But uh, this is tough, bro. This one's a tough one. And then we add on the theme music. We add on the hey, 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 since day one. Yeah, like that's tough. That's tough. Damn. I'm gonna have to bench Jay Uso. I'm gonna cut Kenny Omega. It's tough for me. The bout machine. That's a gimmick I've always loved. I loved when Kurt Angle did it. When like just the collector of belts, just going out there trying to collect belts. I thought that's one of my favorite gimmicks ever, no matter who it is. But I just in the matches I've seen, like I don't know if he's better than Daniel Bryan. I don't know if he's better than some of the other guys who's in his generation. I guess Okada might be better than me, honestly. But and I'm not really into the whole when he was younger. He was a little more flippy, Will Ospreay ish. So yeah, I have to go with that.
Interesting. Brandon and I agree again. I'm gonna start Becky Lynch. She, I mean, uh, for a while there, I don't think a lot of people gave her enough credit for what she did with the women's revolution, but um, she literally took a punch to the mouth and it blew up because of that.
Right.
So give her all the credit there. And then Jay's just been on a whole different level lately.
Yeah.
And like at Survivor Series when he got on top of the cage and they had that shot of the whole arena doing his little
Yeah.
hand thing, I was like, okay, he's got people going. And then the dude made Yeet, which was popular in what, 2014,
Yeah.
brought it back and made it a thing again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all due respect to Kenny and all the flips and stuff that he does, but I'm about to cut him.
It's funny because Pat, I feel like if we would have talked to Pat when I first met Pat, he would have been Kenny Omega's start all day. Like he was a flippity, Seth Rollinsy type of guy. Shawn Michaels. He's one of those like very like typical white guy.
Except Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul, like all those dudes.
I
I
don't
feel
like
like you
Logan
love
Paul.
those
No,
dudes.
I don't.
Wow, man, you've changed. Good for you.
Gentlemen, I agree. I'm gonna start Becky Lynch, um, because I come from a time when women's wrestling wasn't,
Yeah,
Same.
and seeing Becky Lynch do what she's done, I was like, all right.
yeah,
Like, this is gonna sound really stupid, but like, it didn't occur to me
right,
that women could do this at
right.
this level because it hadn't been like I remember bra and panties matches. I remember like mud matches.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I
The
like
Bathing
evening
suit.
gowns.
like
Yeah.
women were props.
Yep.
And then yeah, like they started wrestling. Like Lita was about as good as it got.
Yeah. She was. Yeah. You're right.
Even some of those were scary though. There's a couple times she went to do the Hurricane Run and I thought her neck broke 4 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it still wasn't quite.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, Becky Lynch, she's too much. Yeah, I've seen Jey Uso in person.
You did. We went to Raw. It's facts.
Uh, yeah, it's good shit. And yeah, like his little solo journey, it's working.
It is. It's facts.
Like it's going well for him. And I'm not a Kenny Omega guy.
You've been consistent about this for a
Like
while.
I don't know if there are very many matchups where I would have kept Kenny Omega.
I've had to defend Kenny Omega against Spencer on numerous occasions due to the fact that he's like, I don't see it. I don't get it.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either. I watched, I think it was like when AEW first was on TV. I think it was like the second or third episode. And I was watching the match and I was like, this is what is getting 6 stars?
Right.
I don't see it. I don't understand. And then going back to your point about women's wrestling, I think there's an episode I was telling Brandon here. Back then, people would go, like the women's wrestlers, they'd sell tickets to the fan fest. Like they weren't selling tickets to the pay-per-view. And I
Yeah.
think now with Becky Lynch and Sasha and all them, like people are actually buying tickets because they're interested also in the women's matches.
Right.
Bianca, I'll throw Bianca in there for you.
Hey man, don't disrespect, bro. You better hope she don't come up as one.
Okay. Okay. So, for the next one, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sheamus, Orange Cassidy.
Oh, God, dog, man.
Kind of easy.
Shut the fuck up. But all right. For me, this is tough because Shinsuke's latest character has been amazing. He's done some great work lately. Like they've leaned into his like old New Japan character and kind of brought it here, where all his promos are in Japanese. It's a bunch of like vignettes and stuff that you kind of saw when we were at Raw.
I will say, for me, like Shinsuke, his earlier wrestling, I liked more, but I didn't like his character was just eh. But yeah, like now, I don't care for his wrestling, but I like the character work.
Yeah, yeah, and I think he's kind of making up for him kind of being washed, honestly.
Yeah, like in his match with Ricochet that I watched live, in my heart, Ricochet was trying his hardest to carry that match, but Shinsuke was not contributing a lot.
Yeah,
it was a good match because Ricochet was doing the heavy lifting.
He was that street fight match. So it was
but
a lot of Ricochet shots.
Yeah, Shinsuke was really just there.
Yeah,
see, and that's a good opponent for him though too, because that's the type of opponents where he can be the strong style, like stiff.
Yeah, that's
like I'll notice him and Asuka. Some of the wrestlers I brought over from Japan, they don't look as good when they can't be stiff.
Yeah,
that's just how they are in Japan. They're stiff as hell.
Yeah, they really are.
You can tell like their matches seem not as good when they're going against people that they have to kind of hold back a little bit. But people they know like that they can just wallop, they look so much better.
That's true. His best match was with Seth Rollins, and he was able to just beat the hell out of him. So, and like I said, it's tougher for me. Like if you would ask me 2 months ago, Shinsuke getting up out of here, easy. I've been saying he's washed for years. I'm starting Orange Cassidy.
I knew that.
Yeah, I think we know that.
Yeah.
Cassidy is just a superstar. I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, bro, if he was in WWE, he'd be the number one in merch. His song would be downloaded every day. His character would be hilarious interacting in the backstage and all the top characters. Like he'd be hilarious. But in AEW, they only care about the indie darlings and stuff. So he gets buried. But yeah, starting Orange Cassidy. I love Sheamus. You know me, I love big meaty men slapping meat. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
Yeah, pause. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I love Sheamus, man. Like Gunther's my favorite, and then my favorite matches with his is with Sheamus. And Sheamus, I just love that I remember it was in the pandemic. I kind of first noticed it. He was beating the hell out of Riddle. Like, it was like 4 straight Raws. And, back then, Vince McMahon would make a match 4 straight weeks in a row and act like you had never seen it before. And he was just beating the hell out of Riddle. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And Riddle got to kind of get in his MMA bag a little bit. But going Sheamus for bench, and I got to cut Shinsuke. Doing great work now, but the wrestling just ain't there.
Okay. I'm gonna start Shinsuke.
Wow. Start? That's wow.
Yeah, start Shinsuke. I remember the first time I saw him come in NXT, and I watched like a little bit of his New Japan stuff, and I was like, okay, I like this guy. And like I've wanted him to be kind of where he's at now the whole time on the main roster, because he was pretty much already there and built in NXT, and all Vince had to do was carry that on. And as we saw during his tenure, he didn't really quite know how to do that. So I'm gonna start him. Love him. Sheamus, and Orange Cassidy. Um,
Think about it.
I'm gonna bench Sheamus.
Well, I don't know why you thought about it.
Yeah, like I'd already written it down.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna bench Sheamus. I just like the physicality, like matches with him and Drew against each other, him and Gunther against each other. Like I could watch those over and over. Orange Cassidy, he's gonna get cut. He can go help set up the ring in NXT or whatever. Put some talent to use, I guess, whatever he's got. He can wear his little denim jacket and stuff if he wants, put his hands in his pocket, whatever. Just just not on my watch.
You have no sense of humor, no creativity.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Shinsuke's hilarious. You just don't know what he's saying in Japanese. You just gotta translate it.
It's wild, man. Spencer, what do you got?
I'm going to start Sheamus.
Okay.
Big meaty men.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to bench Orange Cassidy, and I'm going to cut Shinsuke.
Let's go. I knew Spencer's always tapped in.
I think Shinsuke gives you more than Orange, but okay.
What are you talking about? Orange gave you what great title reign.
What's the next one, Spencer? What's the next one you got?
what great title reign that Shinsuke gave you?
I'm not all of them. Like he has more. He has more potential to do it than Orange Cassidy could.
See, you say potential. I say facts. Shinsuke's
great title Shinsuke's reign with the NXT Championship was good, great. And he unfortunately got hurt. They should. It's a really good one. When he had the Intercontinental Championship, it's like it was in Vince's era. Had he give Shinsuke the U.S. title right now, he'd make it better than what it is now. Who even has it?
Logan Paul.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Hey man, that's a business decision, strictly for business. But I'm saying Orange Cassidy, if he came to WWE right now, he would kill it.
Yeah, setting up the ring in NXT. You're right.
Oh my god,
that's exactly how he would.
Act like that man didn't put up classics, man. Disrespectful.
None. The only classic he put up again is probably the ring at an AEW show because they can't hire good enough ring crew.
Go watch Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy, and you'll learn something.
I'm not wasting time out of my life. Life's too short to be doing that stuff, bro. I'm probably gonna have to do it when they come because I'm going to the AEW show and whenever they get here, when they come to San Antonio. So I gotta take my nephew because he likes that stuff. So I'm up high. I probably have to sit there and see that. Might probably go to the restroom, but that's my bathroom. Get popcorn break.
Jeez.
Oh god. We're gonna change categories again.
Okay.
Stephanie McMahon. Mean Gene.
Okay.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
I got to start Stephanie. I mean, there's really no explanation. Needs to be had, right?
I mean, a little bit.
No, that's self-explanatory right there. To this day, I wear that out.
To this day.
Yeah, starting Stephanie, benching, um, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Dude was amazing on the mic. Mean Gene, sorry, bro. You were cool, but people remember those because the Macho Man randomly walking around you awkwardly, like they don't, you know what I mean?
Andre choking him.
Yeah, like those. It's usually the talent. Whereas Bobby the Brain, it was like he made the talent. He brought the attention to him. He was amazing on the mic and as a manager. So
Okay. I'm gonna start Bobby the Brain. Rest in peace.
yep,
Um, he's just like you said, good as a manager. He's also good on commentary. If you have the opportunity, I recommend finding some of the years where him and Gorilla Monsoon were on commentary together.
yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. Um, and then bench bench Stephanie, mainly for her like front office stuff, because I feel like she's got a really good like mind for that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, keep her around for that. And then on-screen talent. I think she got better the older she got. When she
Oh,
was younger,
absolutely.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
she was younger, trying to cut promos and be that the boss bitchy kind of thing, I was like, I don't know nobody believes it. But then as she got older, you could like, oh shit,
yeah. Yeah,
okay,
she's like an executive.
yeah, slapping the taste out of people's mouths. Like you could feel it. Like she would slap somebody, and then I'd sit there on the couch, feel it. Like what the that
Yeah,
hurt. Um, and then unfortunately, love the guy to death. Got to cut Mean Gene though. I think you can find a backstage announcer pretty easy.
Yeah.
Love him
yeah.
though.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Moment of
okay.
R.I.P.
That's
silence.
what I thought. That's what I thought. Huh? What you
Um,
got?
I agree with Pat. I'm gonna start Bobby the Brain. I'm gonna bench Stephanie, and I'm gonna cut Mean Gene.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
yeah. That's tough. That era was tough because you had to be back there, and yeah, like you said, you had to deal with like Macho Man, like cream of the crop, and like
Oh
randomly walking
yeah.
around you. Yeah, you're like trying to like, hey, Macho Man, I need to talk to you. He's just walking around you.
And then the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah, like he had to deal with like weirdos, straight up
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
weirdos.
like
Like
that's what it was back then.
yeah, just yelling.
All right, and so we segue into back into another category. We're gonna go Mick Foley, Stone Cold, the Macho Man.
Ooh,
Does Mick Foley come with all of his characters?
Yes, because all of those were in the ring.
Okay.
okay. I'm not even gonna waste time on start. I think we know what time it is. Stone Cold. Um,
What?
bench. Yeah, right. um, bench. I got Macho Man's my guy. That was one of my favorites from the beginning. Character work, the in ring. My man used to write down every sequence of the match, like down to a T, on like what would happen. And dude was just amazing. Career was a little shorter than you would think, but killed it. Even when he was in WCW, he was doing good stuff. So when Elizabeth, um, and my man was doing all these great things with Hulk Hogan hating on him the whole time. So um, gotta bench my man Macho. If Stone Cold wasn't in the same category, I would start Macho Man. But I got to cut Mick Foley. I liked him. I thought he obviously gave you some great characters, gave you different wrestling styles. He could do the extreme stuff. He could do the funny comedy stuff. But yeah, just
And Mick Foley's just a good person.
exactly. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. He doesn't hate on the new generation. Like he's good.
Sacrifice his body and his health.
Yeah, like he did whatever it took to make the
Oh
fans
yeah,
happy.
he put himself on the line. Like he,
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what makes this so tough. It's like you hear it and you're like, oh, this is obvious, but then you're like, man, how do I keep the third guy?
right,
Like, can he be my sixth man?
right.
I think I'm gonna go the same as Brandon though. I went back and forth a lot trying to figure out a way to put McFoley in there, but
Not against these two.
Yeah, Stone Cold and the Mach are just like basically interchangeable, honestly. But start Stone Cold, bench Macho, and cut McFoley.
I agree. I have to start Stone Cold. Um, I got to bench the Macho Man because I'm going back and watching Macho Man stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Like
yeah.
it's
So
just
good, bro.
The
so
Slim Jim
good.
stuff, like they're trying to redo the Slim Jim stuff, and they should just replay the old Macho Man commercial.
Honestly,
Yeah, they should.
That was the best one. Like that's the only one, and even that's the one that non-wrestling fans know.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
okay. For the next one, we have Booker T, Batista, Kane.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Um, as a melanated gentleman, I am going to select. I gotta go with my boy Booker. Booker T is one of my first like favorite wrestlers. Like I'll be watching WCW, and it'd be like the fourth match on the card randomly after like a commercial break, and you see this black dude with his brother. You're like, oh, okay, hey man, that one black dude got talent. Like he can be a dude. And then like a year or so later, then he started getting little matches, getting a little US TV title, and I'm just like, yo, this dude's the one. You know, he's more athletic than all the other guys. And even though the other dudes was hating on him, NWO and all of them was hating on him backstage, dude killed it. So I've been a Booker T fan since day one. So got to go with him to start. Uh, bench, I got to go Kane. He just gave me too many moments. He just gave me way too many moments. And he's more in my generation, whereas Batista got really cooking a little after I left. But his theme song it made me question some things. I listened to his theme song. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start Kane, mainly because growing up, anytime I played a wrestling game, I was picking Kane. Um, he wasn't quite my favorite, but he was up there. It was like Undertaker than him. Um,
Mm,
so I was always wanting to pick Kane. Anytime I did the creator player and then did when you could do the entrances,
yeah.
it was always Kane's entrance. It was always the fire or like when you could go to the ring and do the fire from the ring. I always pick that. So I'm gonna start Kane, bench Booker T, the five time,
Right.
five time. It just his commentating character wise, I'm not the biggest fan of. It's funny, but it's sometimes I'm like,
Quack it, duck, duck.
yeah, like I'm like, bro, what are you saying? What are you talking about? But he's just so entertaining. I love him.
Yeah.
And then Batista, I like Batista, but I like Drax a little more. So I'm gonna cut him, let him go do his thing in Hollywood. And he also just didn't like his world heavyweight title run. I can never remember how exactly long it was. It just didn't like feel like it impacted or did anything. I don't know if it because it followed Triple H's long run with it.
Yeah.
Um, but it just like there's one match I remember is just it was him and Undertaker at WrestleMania.
That's the one I remember probably the most. Yeah, probably that one. I also dock him some points for landing on the power bomb. Like you 6 something, you can't be giving
Oh,
people
that's more power though. That's like he
nah.
gets more power at that.
And the only person I've seen that does it well is Keith Lee. Everybody else, you need to be if you're that tall, you need to be dropping them from Kevin Nash style, like up,
Well,
drop.
Batista's not that tall.
No,
Like,
Batista's
I mean,
probably a
Batista's
little bit
like
taller than you, Brandon.
like
that's
I don't even.
tall.
I don't think Batista's taller than Brandon.
Batista,
Oh,
Batista height. Let
maybe
me see.
not.
I'd give Batista like 6'4", maybe.
That's tall though.
But
That's not
not
tall
like
enough to do.
Kevin
That's not
Nash.
jackknife tall.
Yeah,
I
Kevin
mean,
Nash was
yeah,
like 6'11".
that's true. But I'm like,
Like he's a 7-footer. He could have played at Arkansas Tech, to be honest with you. Like,
but my thing is, okay, yeah, he's 6'4", 289. That's still a good size. And
Oh
my
yeah,
thing
he's a
is,
big boy, but yeah, like he's
right,
not. Yeah, like
yeah.
I could see him throwing people down, but yeah, like the sit down. No, I'm not a fan.
like Gunther's looks better than his did. You know what I mean? And they're the same size. So it's just
Gunther's like 6'8" though, 6'9", isn't he?
Gunther's 6'4",
Really?
270. Yeah, Gunther's
Uh-huh.
not that
I
tall.
thought Gunther was like at least 6'7", 6'8". Interesting.
No, he's a little
I
bit taller than
also
Triple H.
I also thought he was taller, but maybe he just looks big out there.
I think he's six.
Yeah.
He might be 6'5", but
No,
yeah,
I think you're right. He's 6'4".
yeah. So it's like, but his power bomb is like down, like that shit, like
Mhm.
it hit the back of your head type of stuff. Whereas Batista's like, but here you go, it was just like, all right.
Yeah.
Um,
Batista did have that moment where they had a thumbs up, and then
yeah, thumbs
so
down.
like that was his thing for a while.
Yeah.
Batista did have a good spine buster.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
spine buster was
nasty.
nasty. That should have been his finisher.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
catch. Yeah, don't let him catch you with that spine buster.
Yeah, he take you up, then around, and then
Yeah.
straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I agree with Pat. I'm gonna start Kane. I'm gonna bench Booker T, and I'm going to bench Batista. Roy's gonna be pissed.
You gonna cut Batista?
Yeah, I'm cutting Batista.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because I mean, when I think about Batista, like honestly, to me, he was the weakest one in Evolution. Like he was the one I cared about the least.
Yeah.
Probably right. Probably right about that.
Whenever it came to like that time period, and you know how there's always a big three and there's a fourth person that's just kind of over here.
Yeah.
He was the fourth person. Like it was John Cena, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar, and then Batista was there, but
Yeah.
he wasn't a big three.
Yeah, he didn't reach the heights of his other people in his like class. The other guys kind of reached like Omega Hall of Fame level. Batista Hall of Famer, but kind of by WWE standards.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, his entrance fire.
Entrance was fire. Yeah.
Entrance was fire. I give him that. And he had the look. Dude was dressed down to the T's.
Absolutely had the look.
Had
His
the
back
look.
tat was sick.
Yeah, like he had everything you need. It was just, yeah, it didn't always translate. And yeah, the finisher was tough. But no, he was good. It's just, that's a tough category. Booker T and Kane.
All right. So we're going to go back to the next category. So we have AJ Styles, Solo Sikoa, Xavier Woods.
Oh, okay.
This is pretty easy. I think I got this one.
I ain't gonna lie. I got some. It's gonna be a hot take. I'm not gonna hold you.
Oh.
Oh no.
Starting Xavier Woods. I think Xavier is the most underrated. Like when they say, some people say like, who's the most underrated wrestler? Chad Gable. I'm like, bro, he's not underrated. Everyone knows he can wrestle. Everyone said he can wrestle. He just doesn't get as much time. But he's not underrated. Like, he's on TV every week. He's literally known for being a wrestler. Xavier Woods to me is the most underrated wrestler because he's a good character. He's known for the stuff off the out of the ring, all these different things. When he gets in the ring, his move set is up there with anybody. Like the stuff he be doing, one of his finisher is a roll up.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
Like it's creative as hell. It's like who does that? Who calls that their finisher? You know what I mean? He does a nice elbow off the top. He has some really cool like off the rope stuff. He jumps off like the side rope to do his elbow. He's just really good. He can go with anybody. I wish they'd let him and Gunther go a little longer because their matches were always good. But like Xavier to me is like the most underrated. I feel like if he wouldn't have got hurt during that King of the Ring run, he would have really showed people. But yeah, I'm starting him. This is tough. I'm not an AJ Styles guy. Me and Pat have went over this 1,000 times. Back in the day, we used to play WWE 2K, and he'd pick AJ Styles. He used to piss me off.
Whoopee.
Yeah, because I'd beat the dog out of you.
No,
but
whoopee with
he
the
was just
Pele
overrated.
kick. I catch you with that Pele kick, and it was a wrap.
AJ Styles is a little overrated, but I'm not a Solo fan, so I'll bench. I'm not excited about either one of these, but I'll bench AJ just because I've seen him have good matches, especially with like John Cena, especially when he was younger. Like now he's kind of washed, but and then and then yeah, Solo is just like Solo, like it's an Umaga, great value Umaga. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of good.
Okay, okay. Um, I'm gonna start AJ Styles. And not necessarily on his WWE stuff, but more so when I first saw him was in TNA, and I feel like he kind of put that brand on the map, carried it from the beginning, made it what it was, and then they're like, "Well, we're not going to pay you what you deserve," and so he's like, "All right, peace," and then went to New Japan, formed the Bullet Club, got big there, did all he
He
could do
didn't
there.
form the Bullet Club. He was a part of the Bullet Club. Get your
Okay.
facts right. So you be trying to give people extra championships they didn't earn.
Anyway, he ran New Japan, ROH, the same thing. Then went to WWE, and I remember, I think Willis. I think we were in, no, we were in the dorms. Yeah, we were in the dorms when we watched the Rumble when he came out
Oh
because
yeah, that's
the
right.
music played. I mean, you and I looked, and we are like, "Who is that?" And then AJ Styles comes out, and I like popped, the biggest
Yeah.
pop I've ever had. Um, so yeah, big AJ Styles fan. We'll start him. Bench Xavier Woods for the same reasons that Brandon said. Very underrated. He was a high school wrestler. I don't know what level he got to. I think it's all state, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but very underrated in the ring, out of the ring, creative as fuck, honestly. Very entertaining. Um, Promo skills are really good. I like how he holds the microphone.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's unique and it's just like it's one of my favorite things. And then I'm gonna cut I don't remember who the third one was.
Solo.
Solo.
Oh yeah, Solo. Yeah, I'm gonna cut Solo. I like him. I just don't think he's done enough quite yet.
Yeah.
And also I kind of just the other two guys that he was with kind of hurt him.
Okay.
Yeah. I think once he starts getting on the mic like he did in NXT, I think it'll be better for him. But he kind of honestly, he's like basically like, all right, what are all the Samoan moves? Okay, I'm gonna do all those, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spencer, what you got?
Brandon, I agree with you. I'm going to start Xavier Woods. I'm going to bench AJ Styles, and I'm going to cut Solo.
Nice.
Gentlemen, I have one more for you.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley,
Mm-mm.
Brock Lesnar, L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
yeah. That's tough, bro. This might be the hardest.
Mm, I think I have a hot take. It's not gonna make a lot of people happy.
What, are we surprised, Pat? Are we surprised?
No, that's my
You know
sole
what?
job on this.
We're
On
gonna
this.
switch it up for the last one. Spencer, you go first.
Oh,
I
oh,
like
of
it. I like
course.
it.
Okay. Um, I don't think people are going to like this very much. I am going to start LA Knight.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
Uh like I have not seen anything I don't like from him.
right.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen, I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna bench Rhea.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
similar situation. Everything I have seen from Rhea, I love it.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. Everything.
Um, everything. My lord.
My lord.
Um, and yeah, Brock, I I remember not liking Brock back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, and it was, me in my youth and, him being out there fucking people up.
Right.
The F5 is today one of the best moves in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no way around that. Uh
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is one of the like powerhouseiest dudes we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like the man was out there just fucking people up.
Facts, man. Like Bro, the way he had people landing on them German suplexes, bro.
Yeah, like he was, yo, like it was like
Yeet.
Brock, you're gonna kill that man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like whenever Mick Foley said German suplexes shorten careers, Brock's Germans are who like those are the Germans he was talking about.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, I really liked watching Brock's matches. Brock's selling is not talked about enough.
Agreed.
Like Brock, because that's the thing. Like, as big as he was, and as menacing, and as often as he was just throwing people around and like hurting people, like he should not have been able to sell as well as he did.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm singing Brock's praises as I cut him because
Right.
Yeah.
he's this is a hard matchup that he's in, and
Yeah.
the other
Any other
two,
one, he doesn't get cut.
yeah,
Right.
but like, yeah, and yeah, Rhea, boy, uh, but also I've seen like the one time I saw Rhea wrestle in person, I was pissed that she did not wrestle. Like they didn't let her cook. They didn't give her more.
Yeah.
I wanted the one thing I wanted was for her to have more time
Yeah.
because she was out there like only getting started, and
Yeah.
I was here for it.
Yep.
Like she had me locked in because the whole like her on the mic and interacting with people and all of that is great. Even the random shit she does on Instagram is great. But yeah, like again, everything, all of it.
Yep.
I like all of it. And yeah, I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to cut Brock. With these two, I'm gonna have to cut Brock.
Interesting. Off to an interesting start. All right. Pat, what
And
you got?
y'all know I don't like the new people. I'm not
Oh, that's true.
like
Yeah,
That's true.
I have a bias toward the people from my day,
That's true.
and here we are.
Yeah. All right. Off of that, I'm gonna go LA Knight. I'm gonna start LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love everything. He basically forced WWE to do what they're doing with him right now, which I love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bench Brock.
Wow. I was gonna call it. I was gonna be like, Pat's gonna cut the woman. I already knew it.
It's not. It's tough because I like Rhea too, but for me, like her promos, they're not great. They're good, but sometimes they feel a little forced. Like I mean, it could just be my opinion, my thing, but for me, it doesn't feel like it's comfortable for her. It feels like she's still just trying to memorize and recite them rather than like speak them, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So that's how her promos sometimes come across for me. Um, but Brock is Brock. He's can do it all. He can from selling. If you need someone to just go lay somebody out for no reason, Brock's your guy.
Yeah.
If we're gonna fight a war with the aliens, I'm choosing Brock to fight an alien.
Right.
Um, so and like his promos aren't great either, but they're entertaining as shit. Like when he was Cowboy Brock, I remember
Yeah.
seeing him when they came to San Antonio and the whole arena popped for Brock
Yeah.
coming out. And then I also want to see him and Gunther go at it. That would be
I'm hoping that's WrestleMania. I hope so.
I would love that. They don't even need the title on the line. Just let them go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna bench Brock and cut Rhea. Sorry, mommy, but
Wow. I'm not surprised at all that Pat is the one to cut the
stop.
woman.
Stop. I
I'm not
don't hate
surprised.
women's wrestling. I enjoy women's wrestling.
Yeah, the fact that you have to say that
If she's in
tells me
any other
everything I
group,
need to know.
I just start Becky Lynch.
He
Brandon,
started Becky Lynch.
yeah.
I mean, because
You
of the
know,
options.
thanks. I'm glad I have a third person now that letting people know that Brandon's throwing me under the bus.
I'm just saying, bro. It's just a little wild. Yeah, I'm starting Rhea. I think I've been a Rhea fan since the Mae Young Classic. Like I was just like, all right, this girl's a star. And Pat, I would agree with you if this was 2 years ago. This was 2021 when she was with Liv. It was definitely forced. It was like you have a heel persona or a look, but you're trying to be a baby face, and your promos aren't fitting. Your matches are good, but you're not quite there yet. But ever since she's gotten to the Judgment Day and with Edge originally, and now with Finn and Damian and Dom, she's like knocked everything out the park. If she's given the Dom thing, that was kind of an accident. She knocked that out the park. The mommy thing came out of nowhere. She knocked that out the park. Now it's like T-shirts is selling everything. Everybody calls her mommy. When we went to the live show with Spenser and everybody, like the crowd was like, she was talking shit about other people. The crowd was like, "Mommy, mommy," you know what I mean? Like as a baby face, you know what I mean? And like even now, when she was in the ring with Randy Orton one day, the crowd was popping harder for her than they were for Randy. She's just a superstar. The girl, when she comes out in her entrances at War Game, like the girl's just a superstar. She can wrestle. She had probably the match of the year potentially with Charlotte. Um, she can do it all, and her promos are good. And the fact that she's like the leader of the Judgment Day and be like making handshake deals with Paul Heyman and the Bloodline, and you know what I mean, kind of running stuff with the Judgment Day. That's just dope. She's top tier. There's not really no better superstar in the men or women right now than Rhea Ripley. LA Knight, I'm benching. Okay, let me let me slow down.
Yeah, you just yeah.
Let me slow down. Y'all know this for listening to the podcast, which I appreciate. I'm an LA Knight guy. You know, I've been an LA Knight guy since back in the day. But if you choosing like, I actually watched LA Knight promo today when he was having a promo with Roman. And I mean, in most of his matchups, he's either done well or he's lost. Like he's either like hung in there or he's lost. With the Miz ate him up. Roman kind of took it easy on him. I will say they set him up nice when Roman came out, held up the belt, and the LA Knight came out. That was really nice. But Brock is just the best. Brock might be the best big man of all time. Like he's up there with Taker. Then like he's just the dude is top tier. Like you said, I remember that match of him and Daniel Bryan. Like that's like top tier big guy stuff. Like he was selling crazy. So I'm probably gonna bench Brock. I'm gonna cut LA Knight. It's tough, but
I never thought I'd hear it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I know.
But
it's a tough matchup.
That matchup, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a tough matchup. But no,
I love
Spenser.
Rio, but I like the other two better.
Yeah, we know that. We already know.
Stop, Willis.
We already know
Trying
why.
to make me out to be the villain. Trying to make me out to be the villain.
Well, good job, Spencer. You gave some really good options there.
Shout out. Props.
Yeah. And we will continue this series with start bench cut. Let us know what you would do on each and one of those scenarios. But all right, to finish out, we will do our top 5 returns. So our top 5 favorite, wrestlers returning, coming back. Those are always exciting moments. Those are usually the most watched wrestling videos, honestly, on YouTube. Is the return and the crowd popping. All right, Pat, you go first. Top 5.
All right. So
we can go. We'll go 5, 5, 5. etc.
All right, got you. Okay, so my number 5 is Shawn Michaels returning in, I think it was 02 or 03. Yeah, he came back as like part of the NWO or whatever. And had that feud with Triple H, and after being away for however long, it was like 8, 9 years maybe.
Yeah.
Came back after that time, and then I remember I was like from old VHS tapes. For those who don't know who that is, go ahead and Google that, or what that is. Google that. Like old VHS tapes that my brother had, and watching him wrestle, and was like, man, I'm mad he's retired. So when he came back, and I got to watch him wrestle, was incredible. So that was my top 5.
Okay. Definitely enjoyed. I like Shawn Michaels when he, accepted Christ as his Lord and Savior. I like that Shawn Michaels better
than his second career.
Yeah, than his first Shawn Michaels. But No, I appreciate that. I'll go. Number 5 for me is Edge coming back in 2020, the Royal Rumble. I was shocked. I did not expect that. And that music when it hits, I mean, especially when you don't see it coming, you think you know me, like crowd went crazy. Um, and that was one of the biggest pops I've seen at Royal Rumble in a long time. So yeah, that was a really fun one. Edge looked great. You can tell he's like taking in the moment just because he hadn't been back in so long. So yeah, number 5 for me in 2020 Edge Royal Rumble return.
Okay. Number 5 for me, this came to my mind, but I don't know if it was a return or if it was just a rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have to correct me on this.
Okay.
When Stephanie was introduced as the GM
Mm.
in 2002,
I want to say that was a return.
I feel like it was a return. Like I feel like Stephanie was gone for a minute, and then she came back as the GM because that was grown ass Stephanie.
That's what I'm saying. That was after the procedure, Stephanie.
Yeah, like because Stephanie before that, Stephanie got on my fucking nerve. I was like, get her out of my ring.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear her. I don't want to see her. She's just loud and annoying and like getting on my nerves. But yeah, when she came back with the "I'm all grown up" music,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
all right, Stephanie.
Who did her? Did like Foxy Brown? Somebody rapped her.
Or Jackie. Oh,
yeah, it was somebody. Yeah, their theme music. It was fire.
It was fire.
Yeah,
but yeah, because I remember, like Stephanie wasn't cute or anything, and then she came back looking correct. And I was like, do I like Stephanie?
A lot of questions.
Yeah,
I feel something.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I cannot remember if that was truly a return, but in my heart it was.
Yeah, I feel like it was. That lines up.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of both. Like one of those, like they went away for a while, returned, and decided to rebrand at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I respected Stephanie too. Like,
yeah,
it was. I don't know.
I like it. All right, Pat, what you got for 4?
My number 4 was Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules.
Was okay. Yeah.
2 years ago?
It was last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my number 4. I think at that, but by the time he returned, I think everybody kind of like figured it out. So it wasn't like a big, huge surprise, but it just like the way they did it was really cool to me.
Yeah. I really liked his theme music too. It kind of like built.
Yeah.
And it was like the drums hit. It was fire.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Okay. Number 4 for me was in 2000 when Stone Cold came back in Backlash. So like The Rock was dealing with, Vince McMahon and Triple H and all them. And Stone Cold, I guess the week before, he had like dropped the thing on their limo or on their car and it like exploded. Or was it their trailer? I think it was their trailer. And it like exploded, but he hadn't technically come back yet. And so at Backlash, remember Backlash used to have the nice little swinging thing?
Yeah, back when they had the cool sets.
Yeah, bro. I saw a video of that. I was like, damn, I miss when they used to have the nice, spend money on the sets. But that was when he officially came back from getting hit with the car, or Rikishi. But
I did it for The Rock.
Yeah, I did it for you, for our culture. But yeah, Spencer, what you got?
Number 4, I have Chris Jericho coming back. I want to say it was late 2000s. I remember Randy Orton was in the ring talking about passing the torch.
And that one. Okay,
yeah. See, I that was one of my honorable mentions. Like, I was going back and forth. I was like, was that a return or was that just like?
Yeah, that was a return.
Yeah, because I feel like Chris Jericho had been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And like the little torchbearer was running, and then he got like knocked the fuck out, and you just see the back of Chris Jericho, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's Chris Jericho!" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. That was short hair Chris Jericho, right? When
yeah,
he debuted the short
Yeah.
hair. Yeah.
He had the light up jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it was before that. It
Was
was
it
the one
before that
before
one?
that. Yeah, it was the one before that.
Okay.
That was the
Gotcha.
one where it was like the code and they all the
yes, it was the code breaker,
up
Chris
to it.
Jericho.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It
Gotcha.
was like save us Y2J. And then
That's
that's
right.
how Raw ended was just him like on the top of the stage. He didn't say anything, didn't really like do anything, and just Raw
Yeah,
just and I was like,
it was super powerful. I remember like not being able, like I was yeah, it
Yeah.
was a wild time for me. I remember feeling that one. So yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. Might have to watch that. Rewatch that one. Yeah, what's your three?
For three,
Yeah.
it's Edge at Royal Rumble. It's the one you already mentioned.
Gotcha.
Just like you said, you didn't expect him to come back,
Mm-hmm.
and then just hearing the music, it was just like holy sh like I was in shock for like 2 seconds, and
Right.
then I came back and I was like, okay, here we go, and it's just like that whole rest of the Rumble was like re-energized. So I think up to that point it started kind of lull,
Yeah.
and then you hear the music, and then after that I was like, okay, what the fuck's about to go down now, kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, Edge at Royal Rumble 2020 was my number three.
Nice. Nice. Number three for me is actually John Cena. It was in 2022. Or was it 21? I can't remember. But John Cena came back for Money in the Bank. So this is kind of the first time John Cena had come back. I think it was 22. It was the first time John Cena had come back to like wrestling in like years, just because he wasn't there during the pandemic era. He did the match with Bray Wyatt, but hadn't been seen since that point at 2020 to 2022. And Roman had just beat, I want to say he beat, I forgot who he beat that match, but he's like in the ring saying like, acknowledge me, you know what I mean? I won, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as music hits, crowd goes crazy just because we had not seen, and that I think that's when it turned from like, they used to be like Cena sucks or you suck or all that stuff. It just completely turned to like, no, we love John Cena. We haven't seen him in forever. Like we took him for granted when he was here. So, but no, that was a really good pop. 2022 Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's when they were doing the whole after Roman's match, they would have like
Yeah.
reveal his opponent was as a
Yep.
return or whatever.
They did same with Brock. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. My number three is after Kane buried the Undertaker alive. The Undertaker coming back after that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think that it was, I can't remember if it was American Badass or Dead Man Inc. who got buried, but when he came back as Dead Man Undertaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 20. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, that was good shit. And
Yeah,
Dead Man is not even my favorite Undertaker. But
Oh, that's my favorite, hands down.
yeah, mine too. This is a hot take, Spencer. Which one did you like the most? Big Evil?
I like Dead Man Inc.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, like it was real brief.
Yeah.
He didn't have Dead Man Inc. for very long, but it was the perfect combo of both. It was American Badass adjacent, like with some of the Dead Man sprinkled in.
Yeah.
And that was when he was, boxing. And
He's had a few different like.
Yeah, was that when he still had the long hair, right? Before he cut it short?
No, that was when he had short hair.
Okay, so
the American Badass is when he had long hair.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
American Badass is my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, like this was a nice in between, and it allowed him to like be himself, but still be the Undertaker, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember. I want to say he got eliminated by Maven in the Royal Rumble during
he fucked Maven up.
Yeah,
he really did.
Like that's the one where him and Jeff Hardy had that ladder match, right? And he damn near killed Jeff Hardy, and then he raised Jeff Hardy's hand and like patted him real hard on the chest, almost caved his chest in.
Yeah. Okay, I like that one.
Number four, my number four. Seeing that Royal Rumble '08. It was after he tore his bicep, I think. And so
Okay.
there's like, and it was the very first time he came back early from an injury, which we found out later on that that's just what Cena does is his injury status like length is not like everybody else's.
Yeah.
Um, and just like I remember the shot, I can still see the shot. His music hits, camera goes to the tunnel, and he's like looking down and
Yeah.
then looks up,
Got his
and it was
hat
just
on.
like, yeah, holy shit
Yeah.
type of moment. I think that was like in '08, at that Royal Rumble in New
Yeah.
York. The last time they did the side entrance at New York at the Garden.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I like the regular, but for some reason during that one it really worked.
yeah. Um,
Um,
yeah, that's my number four.
Oh,
um
we're on number two.
Oh,
yeah, oh,
sorry.
that's
Yeah,
your
yeah,
number
number
two.
two. Yeah, right.
Gotcha, gotcha. Because it was funny because me and Spencer used to watch Royal Rumble sometimes, and we watched that one. That was a really good one. They had like a bunch of like old people coming, like
Oh, yeah.
Roddy
Yeah, there were
Piper,
a bunch of old people in that one.
yeah, Bob Backlund, and all kind of random people. Um, okay, number two for me is CM Punk 2023. CM Punk coming back this past Sunday. Wow, or Saturday. Wow, bro. I didn't think CM Punk would come to WWE because I just didn't think they want to deal with him. But at the end of the show, like the copyright thing comes on. Yeah, everybody knows when the copyright thing comes on, we have to go to black. Like it's time to shut off the lights. And then that music hits. Speaking of which, I was out yesterday and I'm just chilling. Eating. His music comes on, bro. I lost my mind, bro. I was like, I'm trying to pay attention to the conversation. Meanwhile, I'm like singing the song. It was rough. But no, that comeback was really well done. In Chicago too. So yeah, it just had everything about it.
Okay. My number two has already been discussed. Edge 2020.
Okay. Yeah.
How I know a comeback is different is when I didn't care about that person,
Yeah.
but that comeback, like when the music hit, it hit me different
Yeah.
because Edge's theme song is one of like it might be my favorite period
Yeah.
in WWE. But
Hmm.
whenever I saw that, like I wasn't supposed to feel anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it happened, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Oh, like so that's how I knew it was a big deal
Yeah.
because it
I'm saying.
like I didn't Edge was not in any of my favorite lists. You know,
I'm saying.
I will shit on Edge's spear all day long.
His hug,
Mhm.
flying
Yeah,
hug.
yeah, just a very generous
Yeah.
like I can't even call it a takedown. Yeah, like it was,
I feel
but
like it was better before he like really hurt his neck. 'Cause I feel like there was a couple times he hit Cena with it, and it was like, oh shit,
Really?
yeah. Or like
Yeah.
maybe before that, but
Got real safe there at the end.
yeah, very gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Edge that yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's my number two.
Pat, what you got one?
it's already been discussed, but Taker at Mania 20. Mainly
Ooh.
because like growing up, I only saw him again like I on VHS and YouTube or whatever. I saw him on as Dead Man,
Yeah.
but like other than that, it was always the biker gimmicks. It was American Badass. It was Dead Man Inc. Um, and so when he came back as the Dead Man and at WrestleMania 20, it was really cool. And it was what's crazy is it was actually like thundering and lightning here. When during that pay-per-view. So it was like, and his entrance and everything, like a flash of lightning hit, and his entrance started. And I remember just like, yeah, the Druids and the whole like classic Dead Man
Yeah.
Undertaker entrance, and it was that was really cool because he's my favorite wrestler. So that's
Yes.
number one.
Pat, you've never said that
Yes.
before in your life. You
Yeah,
fucking,
I have. Stop. Don't even play me.
bro, you've never said that.
Don't even play
Ever.
me. I have multiple times. Stop.
Brandon, you know where I stand.
Yeah, at
The GOAT.
least. Well, this is
The
wild.
absolute GOAT.
The GOAT.
Not even. No.
People today
Not,
still go to him on what they should do in their matches. Like, come on
he's not
now.
even the goat of his generation. What are we doing?
Yes.
Companies are trying have WCW had Sting to try to be like Undertaker. TNA had Abyss to try to be like Undertaker. Companies are trying to find an Undertaker. When companies are trying to find somebody to do what you did, you're a GOAT.
Bro, that happens to all
GOAT.
the other people. Everybody tried to find the next Rock. Everybody tried to sign the next.
And the Rock's
yes, Stone
Rock's
Cold.
a GOAT. Stone Cold's a GOAT. Undertaker that
Bro,
makes you a
hey man,
GOAT.
all I know is, hey, in the
Nobody
early
wants
two
to find the next
thousands,
Orange Cassidy. Stop.
early 2000s, when they was like SmackDown's coming to your town, it was The Rock and it was Stone Cold on the marquee. Taker was like we know he's top tier, but
Well,
like,
Taker
come
was
on,
still hurt most
yeah,
of the early 2000s. Nah,
no
Taker's
man.
stop, Willis. What's your number one?
Before Stone Cold took off, I'll give you it. But once Stone Cold took the company in '98, it was a wrap. Um, all right, number one for me, one of my top five ever to do it, and this is one of my game changers. This is when I like the switch flipped for me. Triple H coming back when he tore his joint, whatever in his leg. He came back in Madison Square
The
Garden.
quad.
Oh no,
In the
yeah, it was a
quad.
squad.
Yeah. He came back in Madison Square Garden. The game music, bruh, spitting out the water with the denim.
The denim.
Yeah.
And that my guy got big because when he tore
He was so big.
a little big.
Yeah.
But then like when he came back, buddy went.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Bro, that like I think it was 2002-ish. I want to say it's 2002. But like that whole year, he won the Royal Rumble that year, I think. I remember when he came out in the Royal Rumble because Stone Cold was in the Royal Rumble already, had eliminated a bunch of people. He was even looking at his watch, like, all right, when's some competition gonna come in here? And then Triple H music hits and they get into it. They go one-on-one for a while, crowd goes nuts. Yeah, that was just a great return in general, but that moment was one of the best moments. Like I think because apparently like he was supposed to be a heel coming back, but the reception he got from that was like, oh yeah, you're babyface. So
I have the same number one.
nice.
Like it Triple H 2001. Like it was too much. I lost my mind so much that my mom had to check on me.
That's how you know. Good one.
Yeah, like yeah. And again, I didn't care about Triple H. I didn't fuck with Triple H. Like I wasn't worried about it. I did not mean to react that way.
Right.
Yeah. My mom came in there. I was like, oh my God, Triple H is back. I was like, he was not, I mean, and I wasn't very old when this happened, but
right.
Yeah, like it shouldn't have been that impactful, but the fact that it was with like no prompting.
Right.
That to me, that's the greatest comeback I've seen.
Nice. I remember watching that live. I was wild. I was going crazy.
For no reason.
No reason at all.
See, I remember that, but I didn't remember it like as a huge pop, or if it was like a big return type of thing, if that makes sense. Like I remember him like returning from it, but I didn't remember it as like a big like a Edge at Royal Rumble or like a Cena at Royal Rumble type thing. But now that y'all are talking about it, it's coming back, and it was. It was just like on Raw, right?
Yeah, it was on Raw. They had a little homage to him earlier, like a little montage about him earlier, like what he went through, him training, him lifting. And they was like, coming up next, Triple H returns. And I was like, all right, bet. And then when he hit,
I missed that. I don't remember being warned.
Oh, gotcha.
I just remember it happening. Like, I just remember hearing his music, and I lost my mind.
Yeah. Maybe that's why, because I feel like if they would have just let him return without having it, I think it would have been more of like a big, like a shocking return instead of just like, hey, he's here already. Just like letting it happen, like like at the end of a match or something.
I think people just were like going his Madison Square Garden, and he missed a key part of like that whole like invasion, all that stuff. Like he wasn't there, right? So like people were like, oh shit, like I think before they were like, oh okay, this is just the guy that's always the villain to Stone Cold, Undertaker, and and The Rock. Like he's just always going to be a villain. You kind of take it for granted. But then when he was gone, it was like, damn, like like we missed this guy.
Yeah. And I think he tore it in a tag team match. It was him and Stone Cold
Yes, bro.
against Undertaker and
2-man power trip, bro. Killed
I
me.
thought it was
It was
against the
against
Hardy
Benoit
Boys.
it might have been.
Benoit
I know.
and
I just know it
Jericho.
was a tag team match. Oh,
Yeah,
Benoit and Jericho. He who
yeah,
should not be named in Jericho.
yeah. And bro, that was one of my favorite tag teams of all time. To this day, I was pissed when he got hurt. Um, but yeah. Oh, Pat, did you get your number one?
Yeah, it was
Mania.
Sacred Mania. Yeah.
Sacred
So I have
Mania.
a kind of an honorable mention. I want to get
Okay.
y'all's thoughts on this one. Sting at Survivor Series in 2014. Was that a return, or we count that as like a debut? Because technically, like at that point, WCW and WWE are one thing, right?
All right.
And so is he returning to like just in TV in general, like to wrestling in general? Because he was with TNA before then. So like,
Right.
are we kind of was that a return or is that him as a debut? Because if that one was huge, that one was very much.
It was huge.
I guess technically, since he didn't come over with the invasion, technically it's a debut, but
Yeah,
I would say
I wouldn't
debut.
call it. It's hard to call it a debut.
Yeah, yeah. I would say debut just because it's his first time on WWE television. Like it's the first time we had ever seen him. You know what I mean? That's kind of why Triple H acted so shocked and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great moment. I saw that a couple weeks ago because it wasn't in a match with like Seth Rollins and
Yeah, it was
somebody.
like Team Authority against Team Cena, and Dolph
That's
Ziggler was
right.
like like the last survivor or whatever.
Yeah,
And
because he
they
was in the
missed
Survivor
on that
Series.
push of him because they could have
Yeah,
put Dolph to the moon there.
yeah,
He
that's
was
true.
hot. He was hot at that time.
He was. He was like 60, but it's fun.
Dolph Ziggler? What the stop?
But
Better than Orange Cassidy.
all right, you just had to throw that dig in there. You just had to. But all right, fellas, I appreciate you jumping on with me for another Start Bench Cut. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, hit us up on social media, LMG Podcast on Twitter, Instagram. Join our Facebook group. Yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you think. But until then, we out. Yeah.